Because we wear so many hats in our business, it can feel like there's a never-ending list of things to do, and it can also be very confusing on where to start, how to plan your day, so that when your head hits the pillow, you feel like you've actually accomplished something by getting all the most important things done first. And whether you have a team or you're flying solo in your business, you want to get the most out of the time that you're able to put into actually building it. So today I want to give you some simple planning hacks to help you implement when it comes to creating content, scheduling sales calls, working with your clients, all the things so that you can ditch the burnout and really use all of the hours to the best of your ability, creating ease and flow in your business. Let's do it. Now, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time tuning in, what's going on? My name is Jen Johnson. I am a high-performance Christian business coach, and on this channel, I dedicate all videos to teaching you how to ditch the burnout, clarify your message and your offers so you can enroll more dream clients, turning your purpose into profit. So be sure to subscribe so you and I can continue on a weekly basis, hashing out the deets to help you level up in your business. And if I've been talking this whole time and you're thinking, what is up with her forehead? Did she crack her head open? No, I did not. I literally had a minor surgery done to remove a lipoma, which was crazy freaky to do. If you missed that on my Instagram stories, be sure to follow me on Instagram at @MeetJenJohnson for fun stuff like that. Little side note, fun fact, don't mind the little cut going on. So I really wanted to make this as easy for you to follow to create a good workflow as you're scheduling out your days, your weeks, your months. So I narrowed it down to 4 key areas that you really want to focus on to build momentum in your business. I'm going to break each one of them down, but let me just tell you what they are. The first area of focus is daily connections. You want to be creating connection, growing your audience base. The second phase is weekly content that you're actually creating. This is the original content pieces that you're putting together. And then the third is going to be promotions and repurposing. So this is where your marketing efforts are going to come in handy because you get to now go out and promote the things that are going on in your business, the content that you're creating, and repurpose content you've already created. And lastly, it's the projects that you're working on to create fulfillment, to be able to create proper systems in your business. So these are the 4 key areas that you really want to dial in as you're creating your schedule. So let's talk about the first piece of this, which is connection. I truly believe 1000% that connection creates cash flow. So it's important that you're actually building relationships with the people in your audience, getting intimate, getting into conversation. And so the first thing that I'm gonna have you do is actually schedule your 0-level groundwork for what you're doing on a daily basis. So what 0-level groundwork is really just what is the bare minimum that you're going to do in a day, even if nothing else gets done. This is where you want to really elevate your work ethic. This is where you really want to say, you know what, at the very least, if nothing else gets done today, this gets to happen. And that's really focusing on your connections and staying present with, your potential dream clients and creating, connection with your community and your audience. So ultimately, what I would suggest doing is setting up something that I call a power hour. You may have heard of this before. A lot of people do it, but having a power hour where every single day, come, hell or high water, without fail, you are actually going to go out there and ensure that you're getting connected with your audience. And that can look like a lot of different things. There's no right way to do this. There's no, what if I do it this way or that way? You really want to try as many things as you can, test what works for you, and then double down on that. So for example, for me, I ensure that I get in with my community every day. I like to start at least 5 conversations with people within my community. I also love to go on to Instagram and Facebook and engage, get into the actual conversations happening on the posts that I've created or in the news feed. So really thinking about what that looks like for you. You know, maybe for you, like you have to get into stories every day. Whatever you really feel is going to create the most connection for you and your audience. This doesn't mean you have to actually post every single day. But you know, if I'm not posting on Instagram one day, I'm still in the stories. So there's always like a bare minimum amount of work that you're doing. And that work really gets to come down to you building your relationships and being present with your audience. The second piece of this is you have your daily non-negotiables, which is your 0 level groundwork, but you also have your weekly non-negotiables, which is going to be the pillar content that you create. If you've never heard me talk about pillar content before, I'm gonna put a video up here so you can learn more about what pillar content gets to look like. But ultimately, you want to pick a place where same time, same day, every week, you're actually creating a really good quality piece of content that you're putting out to your audience. For me, that's right here on this channel. Every week, I love to share new valuable information with you guys, and this is where I'm doing it. So being consistent, sometimes I think it's easy for people to think consistency means every single day, and that's when you burn out. I don't record a brand new YouTube video every single day of the week. I do one a week, and then I'm able to maximize the efforts of that actual video by repurposing as well and promoting that actual video. So ultimately think about where you're committed to creating that pillar piece of content. What day, when are you putting it out, when is it getting published? Because once you can create a commitment, then you can actually put it on the calendar so you can become consistent. So there's always gonna be like the initial pieces that you create. You know, for example, on Instagram, I always create original captions and graphics, and then I can always repurpose that over to Facebook at a later date if it's still relevant. You know, promotional efforts go on all platforms, things like that. So really just keep in mind where you're gonna create original content and publish it, and then you can come up with a plan of where you can repurpose it. So having an editorial calendar to help you keep all of this organized is really helpful. Now, I use a digital, Google Calendar to really map out what my actual content creation and promotion and repurposing efforts are going to look like every week. But across the board, for the most part, it's pretty consistent. I'm doing the same things on the same day just to keep myself consistent. When you don't create a commitment to when you're doing what, it doesn't support you in being a consistent person. It actually creates confusion because you're uncertain every week of when you're doing what. So determine that and really map it out on a calendar where you can see it every week, where you can get, in relationship with your schedule and be able to maximize your efforts towards what you've actually put on the calendar. So when it comes to the other three areas, the three key areas of creating content, promotion, repurposing, and projects, you really want to focus on this next step. Being a high achiever, you want to accomplish all the things in a day. And, our brains and our minds are so much bigger than our calendar and the hours we have to actually achieve things. So ultimately, one of the biggest mistakes that I really made in the beginning was trying to do 1,000 things in a day rather than time blocking. So I want to share with you the importance of time blocking and how you can really get more activity and flow throughout actually creating those time blocks for specific things. Because let's face it, you're not just a content creator, you're also a coach, and you're also enrolling new clients and following up and working on the systems and the funnels and the things to really create ease and flow in your business. So you gotta be able to block out time to focus on specific things and actually get them done rather than trying to chip away at 1,000 things in a day, because that's just gonna create a hot mess. So when you're trying to chip away at 1,000 things in a day, it's like you're trying to come up with, what should I post today? And I need to write an email, and I need to, work on my funnel, and I need to do my power hour and connect with people. And then I have to go, do a coaching call. Like, you're all over the place. And it's like, you're barely able to get any momentum. And when you can focus on something for a longer period of time, like you'll be able to get so much more done with it. So what time blocking really looks like is batching the effort that you want to create. So ultimately, rather than trying to figure out a post and what to post every day, you can really, now that you know the type of pillar content you're putting out, figure out what makes sense for your front end content as far as posting, and what are you promoting and what are you offering, so you can line everything up. But then you can sit down for an hour and just create all of those posts for the week, rather than one per day sitting around thinking about it for 30 minutes. What am I going to post? You're very clear. You already have it all done. And then you can actually just upload it into Later or Planoly or some sort of scheduler where you can actually publish it when the time comes. Same thing with writing your emails. If you write 2 or 3 emails a week, sit down and write those emails all in one swoop, because you already know what you're focusing on for the week and what would make sense to communicate with your audience. So make sure you're actually sitting down and writing it. And same thing, if you want to, go through some learning or education, maybe you're going through a course right now, or, some sort of curriculum, that you got to schedule that out. You got a time block. When am I actually going to go through this course? When am I going to complete the next module, X, Y, Z, right? So thinking about every single thing in your business more as like a longer term game. When it comes to creating YouTube videos, I do 1 video a week, but I record all 4 of them in one day. It's so much easier when you can batch your work, so that way it's done for the month. So think about how much time it takes to set up the camera, to think about what you're gonna do your video about, and then to edit your video and upload it. Like, there's all this stuff, right? So if you can actually say, you know what, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna map out 4 pieces of content that I'm gonna put on YouTube or podcast or wherever you're gonna be publishing this content, and it's just done for the month, it's just off your list. Now you can go to the next thing and not worry about it, while still getting your bare minimum, the ground zero, the 0 level work done in your day, where you're taking that power hour to do that. Ultimately recording 4 videos doesn't take 7 hours. It takes, a couple hours to get your videos done. But then you still have that extra hour available for you to go do the 0 level work that you've committed to doing. And this is really essential to making the most use of your time and eliminating excuses. Think about, if every week you're gonna create content, you gotta try to find a place to put the kids, or how you're gonna get the house to be quiet. What are the excuses that currently get in your way that you're having to consistently try to combat or overcome, rather than saying, you know what, if I can just schedule a play date for the kids for 2 hours, I can knock out 4 pieces of content, or I could write 4 blog posts. So this is really going to support you in really making the best use of your time, being the most productive and efficient, and allowing you to stay consistent, because you're not having to battle that excuse so frequently. So think about the most important things that will move the needle in your business. Creating content, you should create a time block for that. Working with your clients, like having a specific day or days where you coach clients. Don't try to just open up your calendar wide open and let people pick and choose whenever they're gonna, schedule a call with you. Designate days that are dedicated to that particular activity, right? So thinking about mapping out your content and mapping out your videos, that can be another time block. Follow up and enrollment, having sales conversations or having enrollment conversations, that can be a specific day. So I hope this is making sense for you, and that it's getting your juices flowing for how you can actually start to set your days up to win. So comment below if you're having a hashtag light bulb moment. I would love to hear what your takeaways are and what you're committed to time blocking to make the best use of your time moving forward to grow your business. So you might be wondering, Jen, what kind of tools can I use to actually organize my life and have a calendar and all that jazz? There's 2 things that I absolutely love when it comes to scheduling. The first is the passion planner. That is where I just map out my week when it comes to appointments and clients and calls and what I'm committed to working on that day. But then I also use Trello to get more into the nitty-gritty. I have so many boards that I have designated for specific things in my business to schedule my content, create my content. I use it as a customer relationship manager. So those are both amazing tools to use. If you don't have a planner or a calendar, I highly suggest that you get one. I absolutely love, this is the passion planner. I got a green one. There's a lot of different colors. It's pretty, it's so quality made, and it really allows you to get clear on what you're gonna be working on for the week. So I'll put the descriptions to those below. Trello is actually a free website that you can go to and create your own free account with that and be able to start customizing boards and really setting yourself up to be consistent. And I also have a Trello training that I'm gonna link here so that you can get started with it and get some ideas on what kind of boards you can create. So let's recap. You wanna connect with your audience daily. You wanna create pillar content weekly. You wanna be pushing out the promotions and the repurposing of your content daily on different platforms. And then you also want to be making sure you're getting your projects done to maybe create your course or build out your funnel or whatever that gets to look like. It all comes down to growing your audience, engaging with them, and then making them irresistible offers so they become your dream clients. So if you would like some support with this, I do have a free download that is your quick start guide to the 5 content types to create that social selling system. Be sure to grab that in the links below. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for showing up. It means so much to be able to pour into you and that you trust me enough to actually listen to what I'm saying. So as always, God bless, keep the faith, impact the world, and I'll see you soon.